Holocracy. Holocracy is something I was kind of doing, but without really defining it. And these guys have done all the work for me. So for example, you'll always remember, I've been doing Foundups for 5 years now, 6 years this year. So Foundups and Holocracy are about the same age. They're a little bit older. And basically it works like this. One is, there is no CEO or titles or positions as in a traditional organization. And you'll notice that if you go to foundups.org and look at all of our members, there are no titles. Now, I use the word title, CEO, only because as a way to communicate with folks, because people understand what that title is, right? But in essence, what Holocracy does is it throws out the whole management hierarchy system and replaces it with more of a bubble system where folks are autonomous and can be autocratic, and their job is focused on accomplishing and evolving things that need to be done, right? Without having to get permission from others. So what's really cool is this entrepreneur island is run with holocracy, and ultimately it was introduced to me by Drew, and yesterday I just spent the time listening to it. I had one meeting with him about it. I thought it was really interesting, and now that I'm getting a better grasp of it, it's like, holy cow. So it's really important that we talk about this, and for you, if you're interested in Foundups, to wrap your head around Holocracy, because every Foundup house is going to be run in a holocratic function. And the fact that we're able to, come to a Foundup house is a place where you can actually play and learn and actually get the experience of a Holocracy. So I strongly advise you to go to holocracy.org, watch their videos, start digesting it, and especially if you're a team member of Foundups, you definitely need to wrap your head around it, because it's what's really important is this Holocracy model. My name is Michael Trout, just doing a shout out for Holocracy. You guys rock, and I'm excited to become an expert in Holocracy as I move it forward with Foundups. Peace out. Oh, if you're seeing this on the web, you can find us on foundups.com. Foundups.org takes you to our LinkedIn page. And one day, foundups.org will be set up as a nonprofit, as our foundation for Foundups. Take care. Oh, before I leave, okay, I should explain how we're going to use Holocracy. Well, the way Holocracy works right now, it's an adoption of a constitution within an organization structure in which the CEO can toss out any time. What we're going to do is adopt the Constitution as the Articles of Incorporation. That's something known as the bylaws. So imagine this, the way Foundups work is the first thing you adopt in a Foundup is the holocratic model. And that then becomes your Articles of Incorporation when that project levels up into a qualified subsidiary under Foundups Corp. Then, basically, it can launch independently, which I can explain. Let me kind of show you. Right? Let me get a pen. So think of this as this is Foundups Corp. Okay, the moment someone becomes a member of Foundups Corp, by supporting it, all right, through a contribution, right, you ultimately become a partner in our organization. No matter where you have the rights to use Foundups as long as it's not illegal. Now understand, it's a registered trademark, so we do control the use of Foundups. So we have the right to say, sorry, what you're doing is wrong, it's hurting us, we are pulling that right away. That's the only claim that we have to protect us, is like, but apart from that, as long as you're not breaking any laws or anything else, you can pretty much promote, sell Foundups any way you want. So you could be in France, you could be in America, you can be in India, you can be in London, wherever, okay? Foundups Corp is basically our umbrella corporation. Now, what happens is projects of Foundups Corp are launched as projects of it, and I'm not sure if I should put them outside the circle, whatever. So they ultimately will, let's say, if they're outside the circle, I could be doing this wrong because it's the first time I'm doing it. I'm thinking and doing it at the same time. But think of these projects or projects that have potential of being Foundups. Every one is launched as their own entity, which has the potential to actually become part of Foundups. Okay? Have the potential. So basically these projects, what we call Foundups, right? These little Foundups use the same not articles, but the same contract as they would with Holocracy. And I haven't even read the contract yet. I haven't gotten that far. But I know it's what I want. So when these projects level up at level 5, they become qualified subsidiaries of Foundups Corp. They're still independent, they're still run autonomously, they're still run wherever they are. But the thing is, instead of you having to incorporate or anything else, you're just under our umbrella. And the difference is, what happens is, basically for this, you get shares in Foundups Corp. So people get shares. It's kind of like we buy you out, all right, or the Foundup Holocracy bows you out. There's certain things, restrictions in Foundups. Foundups, what's different from the current model is the Constitution is, like I said earlier, is part of the bylaws. This is huge, which means the CEO cannot toss it out unless everyone within the membership votes to cast it out. So basically, you start your idea as a holocracy, so you can't. So its organization. The first thing the organization is a partnership. Then, when these are the people that are helping you, right? Who are part of the circles, who's part of it, right? As the organization grows, it grows, it grows, right? And finally, when it reaches a certain point, it gets adopted into Foundups. And then you become part of the bigger family. Make sense? So there's certain restrictions that we have in Foundups. And let me just grab another pen. So some of those restrictions being this is, number one, no one can own more than 10,000 shares. Right? Not even me. 10,000 shares. You know? You have to understand, Foundups Corp's valuation, that's the share price, right, is going to go up with every Foundup house. This is a Foundup house, FH. Foundup House India, Foundup House, right? So as we launch these Foundup houses, our valuation of the corporations is going to go up. These Foundup houses are going to launch these projects, right? So these projects are going to get launched out. Well, that wouldn't be the same project. That's a mistake, right? We messed here, right? So these projects are going to be launched out of these houses all over the world, right? So, and projects don't need to launch. Some projects will actually launch independently, right? And they'll level up independently, and then they will basically maybe join a Foundup house, right? So there's two ways. One is they launch from the Foundup house when they come in. Some of the restrictions of Foundups is no one can own more than 10,000 shares. That's part of Foundups Corporation and part of this family here. Okay. Number two is 80% of the net profits that derive out of these, because these eventually level up into their own entities and start making money, must go back into the system, right? They can go into launching more Foundups. They could be used to scaling up Foundups, or they could be used for supporting other Foundups. There's three ways you can use the net profits and capital gains, right? Capital gains. So remember, the stock value of Foundups, there's no way for the stock value to go down. Just as there's really no way for the stock value of companies like Google to go down unless they get significantly disrupted, and there is no foreseeable way that they're going to get disrupted. Potentially Foundups is going to disrupt them, because Foundups is going to replace all these models. So all these old models are going to get disrupted by us, only because this is a decentralized, what I call a decentralized model, where Google's a centralized model, and a decentralized model is always going to disrupt the centralized one. Okay? So the other things that are in our Constitution is basically no lobbying, right? No politics, right? No lobbying, no politics. Foundup corporations, Foundup Corp, or any of these things cannot participate in any lobbying or supporting any political or religious, right? No. Or no religious contributions, period. Okay? We're neutral. We're neutral to politics, we're neutral to lobbying, we're neutral to religion. That's not what we're about, okay? So the interest, no gay rights, none of that crap, okay? We are all about one thing: saving our planet. Okay? Saving our planet. When I say our planet, I don't mean the planet. No, the planet does not need saving. Our planet with our trees that are being destroyed, our oceans that are being destroyed, our water that we need for life that's being polluted, you know, our fellow organisms that we share their DNA, these all things are being destroyed at an exponential rate. That's our planet. The planet, the rock itself, is going to be here for another 4 billion years. So that does not need saving. So basically, what Holocracy does is it finally takes care of me, you know, because I've been putting it off and putting it off and putting it off, is writing this whole Constitution thing, and you know, and blah blah blah, and I'm like, oh, I don't know how to go start about it. Guess what? Holocracy did it for us. But the big difference between what everyone's doing with Holocracy and what we're doing is we're incorporating it right into our articles of incorporation via our bylaws, which means that the CEO, the moment we launch a Foundup, you're signing into using Holocracy, and that's what's really brilliant.